project separately this afternoon.
Right.
So I'm going to take the next like 10 or 15 minutes just to kind of walk you through how we are structuring. We're providing a little bit more structure for the first time this year based on feedback from previous hack weeks. It's like when you get together, we kind of assumed like you get together in small groups and things happen and it's all good, and not necessarily. Sometimes you need a little bit more structure when you're trying to get lift off on a project and it's messy and you got a lot of people and a lot of ideas. And so how is it that you have all voices heard in shaping the project, especially early on, and that like one or two voices aren't the only ones speaking, right? Because everybody's got good ideas. So the way it's going to work for the rest of the day, an overview is we're going to take about 60 minutes. You see the big white pieces of paper taped to the windows. So each of the projects will have like a little station. And the project leader will go there, and anyone that project is their top pick will go huddle around for the next 60 minutes in that project. And I'll tell you what's going to happen in that 60 minutes in a little bit. So that 60 minutes is just to kind of get a sketch going, a rough idea. We're not expecting you to nail every task and who's doing what in that 60 minutes. It's really just getting enough of the sketch and enough of the ideas that everyone can see, do I see myself working on that project? Can I see how I can contribute to that? In that 60 minutes, if you're in that team, you may go, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm thinking that my second choice might be better. That's what's going to happen after. So 60 minutes where you're helping to shape what a project's going to look like. Then we're going to do a 30-minute report out where the project leader takes like, oh, what I've learned in this 60 minutes. And here's kind of the basic tasks, the categories of tasks we've identified. You'll do like a little 2 or 3 minute just catches up on how's that project shaping up, so everyone in the room can hear. And in that listening, it might be that you like, I think I like that project better, right? So even in the 1 hour, you're not cemented to that project. You will have an opportunity. You have an opportunity throughout the whole half week to choose a different project, but just letting you know, you're not signing blood on the line there. Then after that, you're going to need some time to digest all of this, right? We're going to take another 30-minute break. During that 30 minutes, you may want to walk around and check out the sticky notes on the tapestry to go, what tasks were identified? You might want to talk to another project leader, or you may just want to take a break. So that's what's going to happen then. And then hopefully you will have landed on the project you want to work on in the remainder of the day. Eli is going to be then at that point walking you through, okay, how do you get more granularity on the task? How do you start managing the daily activities and how you're going to work together daily? So she's got some ideas she's going to bring you through that. So basically adding a lot more structure to how the projects are being put together so that the project leader, the weight of that is not all on your shoulders to not only lead the project and the science, but figure out how to organize everybody. So this is just to help with that. Okay, so I did a little project facilitator training last week with Eli and Anthony. And I think it might be beneficial to just kind of give you all a heads up what to expect in that 60 minutes together, because it just isn't on the facilitator and project leader, but we're all helping to shape this experience. So if you know what's going to happen, then you're contributing to a positive experience. So I kind of see the next 60 minutes broken into 3 parts. First is you've got to do the project you're working on. There needs to be a little bit of discussion about, given what we know now, do we think, can we start imagining already what tasks are going to be involved? Like, do I have enough clarity to even imagine what tasks are going to be involved? And do we think it's something we can do by Friday? Or at least some portion we can work on by Friday, right? And some of it may be, we're not going to know till we start actually listing out the task, whether we can answer this or not. That's okay. The one important thing that I forgot that I always forget, when you first get together, it's really good to introduce yourself and why you're attracted to this project before you jump into the good stuff. So the second phase, and the title beside of these is like guesstimates on my time. It's really rough. So just know that. Let's see. So second phase is everyone, there's a pile of sticky notes and black markers just under each of these white pieces of paper around the room. Everyone participates. Everyone gets a pack of sticky notes. And at this point, it's like, maybe the project leader says, okay, now that I got more time with you, I'm going to give you a little bit more detail on what I'm thinking this project looks like. And right now, this is the task that I think might be involved, but don't give everything away. You want to let other people shape this with you. So maybe give a few things, and then you're inviting everybody that's there or huddled around with you, like, okay, one sticky note a person, tell me what you're seeing, write it down as a sticky note and stick it up on the white paper. And it's just like you keep going until you think nobody else has anything else to say on the ideas. At that point, you're going to have it's going to look messy. You're going to have a pile of sticky notes up there. So it's like start clustering them. Oh, this sounds like this, and this sounds like that. And just start doing some type of clustering. Let me show you what that might look like. Okay, I've already talked about this. Okay, so the clustering, this is the task identification. Yes, all ideas and perspectives are needed. Oh, I want to say something about this. Anthony, can you hear this? I just want to get your feedback. So Anthony did a little demo of this. We wanted to make sure it was going to work. And he actually has a project, databases that he pitched. And then a bunch of us on a call started doing this task thing. And what I was struck by afterwards is you made the comment that it surprised you, like you already in your mind knew what tasks were going to be involved, but then it surprised you. So tell us a little bit about that.
I had this list in my mind, and then everyone started pitching things. We were just using a Jamboard. And not only did those all come up on the page, but there were just subtle dimensions to them that were different than how I was thinking about it, and actually really creative, and certainly things that I wouldn't have imagined going in, and plus all new ideas coming onto the page too. So I think there's a lot of value in that leaders just holding back a little bit, just seeing what's going to emerge from the group, and how do we even get greater creativity coming into the room. So that was a pleasant surprise, and really neat to see that in real time.
Yeah. That ideation, making it a little bit richer, deeper, bigger. When you get to the project liftoff, you can always start paring down those ideas, right? When you want to go into more detail. But at first, it's like, hey, let's span the space here, see what all dimensions might shake out. Did someone have a question? Oh, okay. Okay, so then you're going to want to do, and I just have one example up here, but there's so many different ways to cluster and do pattern recognition. Basically, what I'm seeing, and this is messy too, right? Somebody is going to have to start. Like, I see this is like that, and say why. Like, just start moving things around. There's going to be multiple people seeing multiple, moving things around. It'll settle down where you are. And the reason for this is now that you can see a clump of something, you're going to name it like what that's the, data analysis, the data visualization, whatever it might be part. And then all of a sudden now everyone can go, oh, I see myself in that clump. I think I want to advance that clump, or you may want to advance multiple clumps, but it's something about clustering that now the project is really taking shape, right? You can start visualizing the end. You can start going, oh, scoping. Okay, are we scoping right? So it adds more to that. The other thing about this, you might want to, if you have time, people can start adding their names, putting sticky notes up with their names on there. It's also a good time to go, are there any skills missing? Like in order to do this, we've got skills and there's no one on our team in this group that can do that, right? So project leaders, take note of that, because when you do your little report out, you can put in a plug and go, we're really looking to attract somebody that can do this, right? Okay, so did I skip on? We did the clusters. Okay. Then finally, we tested out this, I guess we tested this out with 2 hack weeks. It seems to be a good thing to do. So there's multiple ways to work together. It's not just the identify task, you do that, you do that, you do that, come back when you're done kind of thing, right? It's like different people come to this hack week with different expectations. So this triangle is really about where do you locate when you're working on this project? What do you need? This is like when I'm asking you here to think about, this is a time to be selfish. You came here, you're spending a week. What do you need in order to get out of these projects? You know, are you somebody like, I'm really motivated by tasks and checking them off the list. I really crank when I can just see things burn down that list, right? The other is like, in order to learn, I need to do some stuff, work out some stuff on my own. So I need some alone time. I prefer working alone. And then there's the other at the bottom right corner of, you really came here to work together, to learn from each other. Some of you have the data and the science down. There's the coding. You may want to go, I want to work on a task that I actually don't know anything about, but I want to learn with someone that's an expert in that, right? So you may want to pair up with someone where you're co-mentoring each other on these tasks. So locate, what's your motivation? What do you need? What do you want to experience in these project teams? Do you want to work more alone? Do you want to literally do the task together so that you're learning about things and talking about things together? So I invite you to be honest and selfish in this respect so that you get what you need to get out of this hack week. So what that's going to look like on these white pieces of paper, I invite you to just literally draw a triangle on the tapestry and then invite everybody to go put your initials in that triangle where you land, right? So it might look something like this, where now I can go, okay, most of us want to work on this together, but that might mean that we move slower on things. There's some of us, who knows? The pattern is going to tell you about how people want to work together. So you're just not guessing that everybody wants to work alone or that everyone wants to work together. Let's see. So this is it's a certain, I think Eli is going to, after you've been doing this for 50 minutes or so, Eli's going to give you a heads up. Hey, you got 10 minutes to get ready for report outs. We're expecting the project leader to kind of try to answer these questions. Like, you're going to have to remind us about the project and the objectives. Tell us a little bit about these clusters that you've identified so other people will know like what tasks are going to be worked on there. Are there any other skills that you need to attract? And like, are in the discussions, did some questions or concerns, i.e. like, we've got 15 people interested in this project and we really need only 7 people. Like, we've got too many. Can you help us break this project into 2 or 3? That happens every single hack week. So whatever questions and concerns, that's a great time to bring them up. And then that's it. Have I missed anything? Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't know anything about it. So we definitely had a lot of really first calls. Some people knew a bit about the idea, but it was really interesting to see, like, everyone thought about how could I personally contribute to this project? Well, like me, I didn't know anything. So for me to personally contribute, I first had to learn about databases. So I put up there, hey, I need to learn more about databases, why we're doing it. Somebody else wrote that and we knew a little bit more about that. And I thought, oh, yeah. What we really need to know is like, we need to know best practice. And then somebody else said, oh, best practice. These are the ones we need. So like you're kind of ripping on each other. So if you come in and you're like, well, I don't know anything about this, you have so much to contribute because you don't know anything about it. You can help the group think about what needs to discover.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, Eli. Absolutely do. Let's see, I think the last little bits of housekeeping here is, so the project facilitators, I know we've got probably 4. If you're willing, I'm gonna invite, if you want to help facilitate this discussion, and this, it really is a support role for the project leaders, right? It's going to be a discussion going on between you and the entire group. It's really just as a support role. I would go into that document that Anthony created that you guys signed up and add your name as project facilitator so we know who's going to go where. And let's see. Okay, if you're a project leader, I think we're ready to distribute, right? So if you're a project leader, please take go stand by a piece of paper. Distribute yourself amongst the piece of paper. Yeah, and put the title, write the title. There's markers at the bottom, write the title. Oh, is that for this?
Oh, thanks. That's helpful. Yeah.
There's 2 in the back. There's one here. One here. We're gonna put up the screen so
Like,
somebody
you
wants
get
to
enough
come here.
votes to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but you might still get other people coming
Here's one
by.
here.
Yeah, like what's online might not reflect.
We'll raise the screen.
I would still.
When I was putting up this piece of paper,
Oh, got it. Okay. Just have an initial conversation with those people, and maybe someone
Okay.
wants to take
So
some,
let's see.
and if not, maybe think about how you can fit in.
Because
So
I
you
can
might,
fit
you may find your chair, so, around.
I'd have a quick conversation with those other folks, and then maybe partner up somehow.
Around.
It might get too big, and then we'll split it into some.
You
Yeah,
know,
let me know how I can help. That's, yeah. Okay.
I would say,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can start with process and just kind of, so then if there's not, you could run
Jonas, Jonas was saying he wasn't sure about being the project lead as well.
Well, I can help. Yeah. I can play a little bit. So yeah. I just got. Yeah, so.
Okay, so should I should sign up as a facilitator on one of them, right?
yes.
That's good. Oh, great. We already have tons of people. Katie is doing one. Stephen,
You doing a project?
a facilitation. Right now, the last, let's see, INSAR needs one,
Is that the very first?
second from last, and then the GPR LiDAR needs one. So we need 2 and 3. We need 3. Space station needs one. Yeah, he already signed up for one. So
I go too. Mine's over there.
oh, Eli's doing
Ask her.
GPR LiDAR. Good. Okay. Does now.
The other.
I'll go to INSAR. ISAT 2, and then the last one is called Space Station. Isn't it?
Actually,